Is Nassif recording? But Nassif is mute. I cannot hear.
Yes, he has started the recording.
Okay, yeah. So Shali, without any further delay, you have the place for you 15 to 18 minutes build to sell, creating a business that can thrive without you. Go ahead.
Okay, thank you very much, Fred Thomas, for that introduction. Yeah, Build to Sell is a book written by a Canadian, John Warrillow. Okay, and it is he is an author. He is also a very renowned coach, speaker. He has written a few books. This book is was written in 2015, okay, and the idea is to help business owners to build businesses with the customer in mind. And saying building a business with customer in mind is not only build it with the idea to sell it to customers, not to clients, and I will clarify that difference, but also to become a customer at the end of.
We lost Shali.
I'm sorry for that. Yeah, some call was coming in. Can you guys hear me?
Yeah.
Okay, so the idea is to build a business with a mind of selling it at the end of the day. If you build it to sell, it has to have certain characteristics. And then one of them is to build in the way of being able to let it run by someone else or make it independent of the author. So building it without being synonymous to the business, that is one. And also choose a product. He said productize the business rather than making it a service. When those two key things are really integrated in the business, you are sure to get it sold easily. And then being able to sell it also at a high price. So, how does he recommend such business to be built? He said first, you have to. Oh no, he explained that most businesses are not able to sell because they do not build them in a way that whenever the founder of the business is out of it, it can run independently. So the business is not or is not consistently built in a way to have the total absence of the author. In case a sudden death or the author gets tired of what he was doing and he decides to change, he can't because he is the image of the business and most customers refer to him. That is when you are the center of almost every activity of your business. On the other hand, you need to choose what you are selling as a product rather than a service. If it is a service, it is customized, which means it is not standardized and repeatable, but it is rather something that is customized to every client. And when it is like that, it is renewed. Every single customer is unique or almost unique, even though you might be doing the same thing. And then whenever you have to have a new customer, it is extremely difficult for you to recommend or having to have a process in place that will allow any new product or any new customer to be satisfied without a full engagement, multiple back and forth, and that leads to the sellability, or if you want to market that business, it becomes extremely difficult because anyone who wants to buy the business wants you to be part of it, or you are tied to the business and your total independence could never come. I will ask for 2 minutes quick to end this uh, trip with my guests and continue if you guys don't mind.
Yes, okay.
Hmm? Yeah. Are you happy I'm using it? It's good. It's good. It's soft. I love it. Sure. It's soft. I love it.
I'm back. Really sorry
Yeah.
about this.
Thank
Yeah.
you.
Okay. Thank you guys too.
Mhm.
So I said, okay, we need to unitize the product that we are selling rather than making it a service. Then the business is more sellable. Now, the next attribute for a business that can easily sell is to build the product that can easily be repeated. If you have a type of product that you can market very easily, and then the same product can be repeated multiple times, then the business has the feature that is called the scalability, and you can scale it and make it high or large enough rather than making it or keeping it very narrow. Now, you have to say no to other custom work. Anything that is different from what you have decided to build has to be out of your choice. You will see a lot of very good so-called good opportunities, and you have to be bold enough to say no to those opportunities. If not, you are never going to standardize and scale what you have chosen to do. Then you will get to a point where you'll be able to hire sales person or salespersons to help you, where you can build a script for them to just use, and repeatedly they will get used. They'll get to a point where they will really, how do I say, get professionalize themselves with the script that they are using, and then master it. Once they reach the mastery, they will be very comfortable and be able to sell your product without you. Now, you need to document the process well enough in a way that once you have the standard of operation and everybody knows about it, producing the product and then selling it could be all done without you. Then empower your team members to get to a point where you can easily delegate the job to them and allow them to manage newcomers, allow them to even handle recruitment, training, and passing over of the procedure that you have already set in place to new members without you. That make you really independent of the business that you have built. You need to clean your finance, making sure the business is separated from yourself in a way that whenever you present your profit and loss statement to any potential buyer, it will show a clear image of your business. And once the business is built that way, it easily incurs what is called the recurring revenue. If you build it without having the a way to make the revenue repeated, he gave examples like toothpaste, for example, selling the Gillette blade rather than the razor itself. Those things create the repetition of usage, and then it incurs the recurrence of revenue, and it can easily be quantified, and the growth can be measured not only by with what you are doing, but projection could easily be done for any potential buyer to be able to know if they could depend or they could expect to make profit and make it work as it was meant to be. Now, you need to focus on your ideal clients. The reason why is even if you have products that are clear, concise, and well focused, sometimes you have side clients that require slight change. You within your client, you should have the very focused and ideal clients that you want to deal with. And those are the ones that you will design your product for, and those are the ones you will focus on to be able to thrive. And that circle of people, you call it your niche. You need to find your niche and then stick only to it. Then you need to also plan your exit, even if you do not want to. But if you do, then your early exit is always the better, because you want to exit from the business when it is at its peak, when it is moving, it is still rising up, rather than when it is dying. That is when it is mostly valuable, and any potential buyer would pay a good price, because anything could happen along the line. Any successful and striving thriving business right now could suffer any sort of thing. Nobody knows, politically, environmental, or even a pandemic could change the situation. And lastly, you once you make your decision, you have to stick to it. And you need to be aware of what you want before you get it done. Otherwise, you will not be able to make the right decision at the right time. Now, that is the formality of the presentation. And the book actually use a story, a fictitious story, to present this kind of idea of how to build a business that you can easily sell. And to do that, the author, or the subject that he used, the character, own a business that at first was designing and then branding new businesses, either new or old, but handling the overall branding. And when we talk about the overall branding, naming, website, a logo, what brochure, and also sending messages on the newspapers, journals, and so on, doing everything for the business. That was what they were doing. And when it is like that, it is shows clearly that it is a service. Even though those kind of businesses were generating large amount of money, that character happened to be very dependent on one key customer who pays close to more than 30%, 30 to 40% of his annual revenue. And but struggling to satisfy that person led the, the author to go to an advisor and ask for advice to help him resolve this situation. The advisor told him that, well, if you really want to have your freedom one day, to have your time for your family, everything depends on what you want. If you want to be able to get out of a business one day and have peace, then move from service to product. So he helped him narrow the whole branding down from building website and all name it to just one thing, building logos. And all the guy does from then on is to build logo, and he defined his 5 steps into building logo, and then move from there, teach it to train his workforce, got rid of all the other employees that were giving him headache, and eventually focus on that and create a new clientele. While doing that, other opportunities started popping in, and he couldn't, he was tempted. However, his mentor helped him stay away from it and make help him remain focused on building just that one type of product up to a point that he moved slowly into the new niche. He also advised him to get more than one salesperson, because when you get only one, salespeople like competition, and when they are competing with themselves, they do better. And lastly, once he moved into eventually selling the business, he made him decide on how much he wanted for the business ahead of time. He decided 5 million. So he need to get an annual revenue pre-tax at least 1 million, because businesses are mostly sold 5 times the value of their annual pre-tax revenue. And not revenue, profit, annual pre-tax profit. So he said 5 million. He asked him, okay, write it and put it in an envelope and seal it. When they got during the process of selling the business, and everything went well up to a point where months later, or a year later, when he was about to sell the business, he asked him, okay, how much do you want for the business? You are able to get it for this price. He was about to sell it for 6 million when they dropped the price eventually to 5.2, and he was completely mad. He didn't want it. And at the same time, the mentor advised him scale it more. He said that Starbucks the business by making it to even look better, to be able to repeat and appear on every corner of the street and every big cities, so that you can stay a little bit and sell it way more. Instead of 5 million, you could get 12 or more. But he said no, he was okay with that. And now that he was about to sell it for 5.2, he didn't like it when he asked him to go and bring the envelope, and the envelope in which he put the amount he wanted to sell it at the beginning. And he opened it, saw that he himself wrote 5 million could have been the best exit amount for him. He got the price, and from then he was happy and sold the business. So thank you very much, guys. I do have the PowerPoint. I didn't want to waste extra time to get it displayed, but I'll put it on and share it with everybody. Thank you again, and sorry for the disturb or all the inconvenience.
Thank you. Okay, thank you.
You are welcome.
Beyond with a short presentation. Now we start doing presentation on the go. So that's improvement also. I mean, if you prepare very PowerPoint is not available, you can start it. So thank you for that. Without any, yeah, 9:25. So if anyone want to ask a question as usual or comment or add any other aspect to Charlie presentation, you're welcome. We'll make sure we stay in 3 minutes for the first round. The floor is open. Yeah.
I'll go first.
Good.
Okay, go beyond.
Okay, first, I want to thank Charlie
Go
for
ahead.
the I want to thank Charlie for the presentation. Well,
Thank you.
the events that play out in this book are an act of fiction, but the message behind it is very real. Also, I took some notes, but those notes mirror what you said in your presentation, so I'm just going to say the important parts. The number one mistake entrepreneurs make is building a business that relies too heavily upon them. It's a problem because when it's time to sell it, the buyers aren't confident that the company can stand on its own. But by pushing three criteria: teachable, valuable, and repeatable, that's how you make a business sellable. You shouldn't generalize, specialize. If you focus on doing one thing well, and hire specialists in the field, the quality will increase and you'll stand out from other competitors. Relying too heavily upon one client is risky and will turn off potential buyers. Don't become synonymous with your company. If the buyers aren't confident that your business can stand on its own, they're very likely to go away. And owning a process makes it easier to pitch your sales and puts you in control. That's about it.
Thank you,
Oh,
Beyond.
wow.
Thank you, beyond.
I could have let him
Great,
present
great.
the book for me. Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah,
thank you, beyond.
he
That's
has
great.
really
Awesome, beyond.
so proud
So
of.
proud of you, and you stay in 2 minutes. Okay, thank you for that. Who want to jump in? Next person, question or contribution to Charlie? Shirel, Nasif, Fatu,
Well, for me,
Colomb.
yeah, I just want to say thank you for the presentation.
You're welcome.
I really have nothing to say about the book. You did great. It was clear, uh, the message, and I want to thank Bio as well for doing that great job on the book reading tonight. Thank you.
Thanks. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Okay. Colomb.
Okay,
Yeah.
I'm gonna jump here in.
So
I want to thank Charlie. Thank you so much. This is
go ahead.
Fatu. I want to
Yeah.
thank Charlie for the presentation, and
Thank you too.
yeah, uh, the book was very self thought and self read, as in like let's just um focus on what you're gonna do. So I did not complete the book because it been a hectic week. So from Charlie presentation, I definitely know like I'm gonna go back and complete the book because it is exactly where I'm at that I want to be able to whether I should build a business or buy a business. So I'm in between there. So to know like somebody's already done it and then like he's advising that we should um be able to build it because I'm like it would take forever to build it Is it worth it? I have all those questions, so I definitely know like I'm gonna go back tomorrow and reread it. Beyond your comment was very long today and great to the point and beyond the point. Thank you, everyone.
Thank you,
Thank you
Fatima.
for
Thank you, Fatih.
yeah.
Quickly, Fred Thomas, can I go?
Yeah, go ahead. Yeah.
Yeah. Thank you, Fred Gerard, for the presentation. It was
You're welcome.
is what they call it flexibility, because even though that you are not in the right position to present, you get flexible to be able to do it. So is what we are learning here, to be flexible and, I mean, get over any constraint, anything that is on your road to achieve what you want to achieve. So thank you for that. And
Thank you too.
the book is like a reference book, and also a lot of different earlier books told us about that. I don't know if we read Robert Kiyosaki, or maybe if it was on my own, that he divided all the economy in four categories. One is employee, the second one is self-employed, and the third one is business, and the fourth one is investor. So they were asking him what's the difference between self-employed and business, and he says if you see a dentist or an accountant, that if they are not available, the business cannot be open. It means that they are working, they are self-employed, they are not in business. So what this book is teaching us is to make sure that you take yourself out, even though that you might be an accountant or a dentist. You can recruit another dentist who can do exactly the same thing that you are doing, so that if you don't want to come to work, it doesn't affect the business. So that's important part. And also in the Main Street Millionaire, Cody says that. Cody says if you want to sell it, you have to make sure that you write a manual, like a standard operation process manual, so that if they start from A, they know where to go up to Z. So that's the most important part of it. And what is going on in this book, I think Africa is victim of that. Why? Because you hear that has a good business, everything is going fine until he dies, and then no one could take over to do it, and then the business is just closed. So definitely is a reference book that we have to remember to go and get it and do it, especially with the help of artificial intelligence. All this one, you just ask the question and you will get the answer. So on that, I asked artificial intelligence as well, and he put it in mnemonic, and he said PARTS, PARTS. So the P is productize your service, avoid clientele and founder dependency, recurrent revenue is key, train other to sell, and structure and system equal value. I put it as well in our group. On that, I finished my not presentation, but my coming to add something on the presentation of Gerald. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thanks,
Thank you
thanks,
Thank
too.
Mr.
you.
Chair.
Hmm.
I clap for you too, man.
Thank you.
I think we're going very fast today. I think Fatu already is now. Crystal and Shreya, you start with say both case.
I
Uh,
can go quickly. Thank you, Amori, for the
okay.
presentation.
You're
I really
welcome.
also thought it was, that flexibility to do whatever you have to do, even though it may not be what you intended. You do what you can do with what you have. So that shows that a lot of dedication from you, working and doing whatever you can. So that was very nice, that flexibility. Now
Thank
the
you.
book, the book, it was a whole new level because, I was always thinking, you have to build a business, but the idea also that this book really opened up to me is you can buy someone else's, if you're interested and it's well, designed, like the book say, to be able to sell so the person can be able to follow some step and make it general to the public. So you are not trying to having to hire people or having to put a lot of um, employees or money into it before you do it. But my main takeaway is that we also need to also, instead of always thinking about building a business, we can buy from someone. And this book opens that path up. And also, when you're trying to buy, what do you look for so you can be able to get on it and also be successful with that. So that's all I have. So thank you all for your input.
Thank
Thank you
you,
too.
Dr. Chen. Chiro, you want to try or you okay?
Sure.
Mhm.
Okay. Hello, everyone. Thank you, Charlie, for the presentation.
You're welcome.
It went through everything pretty well. It just like after the fact, I just had some questions that like I wasn't able to get through the book, but I don't think these are just like general questions. I guess first off,
Mm-hmm.
is they talk about businesses in like a broad scale, right? But there's this idea on like what scale are they operating at, right? Because he says that he's selling a business for 5 million, and if it's 5 times the annual profit, that means he's making a profit about 1 million a year, right?
Mm-hmm.
So I do think that first we need to like evaluate what scale are we operating at, how big are the businesses that this author is familiar with, versus if you are as an individual or if us as a group were to do something, like what kind of businesses are we going into, and like let's temper our expectations around like, okay, what kind of scale are we operating at, and does he get these larger numbers via having multiple businesses, multiple acquisitions, right? So like just needing more information is the first big thing whenever you like evaluate whatever someone says in a book, right? Because you can only put so much in a book, right? A lot of it is also his experience.
Mm-hmm.
The next thing I want to ask about or think about was the selling model is incredibly common in some fields. In some fields, like tech and tech startups particularly, the entire goal is to get your business sold to a larger corporation, right? However, tech in particular and many like medicine additionally, there are fields where the value of the business isn't the scalability, right? It's a particular product or a particular design or a particular model that the business has, and that drives its valuation, right? So yes, the profit is important. However, sometimes you can get a lot of money just based off like the ideas that the business own or the techniques that the business own that you might sell to another business, right? So don't get solely focused on like, oh, if I don't have this scale, I'll fail, right? If you have a valuable idea, you could use that to leverage the valuation of your business. Next is basically like a timeline for these plans, right? The individual talks, the author of the book talks about how like, okay, he had a business with 1 million operating profit. What was the timeline over which they like built this business? Was it like a decade? Was it, oh, they already had a lot of capital up front and they actually bought another business beforehand and they actually were able to leverage and scale it in like 2 to 3 years, right? It's just like also understanding the timeline, being aware like, okay, we might have to invest 10-ish years or 15-ish years to before we see our full return, right? And then keeping in mind, we were talking about different like working types, and I think this is just a good retirement model. But again, like the book says, you have to tailor your business towards being able to sell it. Otherwise, we won't be able to properly have a good exit strategy. And we talked about exit strategy when we talked about past books. And then the very last big idea that I want to just talk about is that all businesses, like all major Fortune 500 companies, all of their parts are replaceable, right? For example, the United CEO was murdered on the street. United Healthcare CEO was murdered on the street, like a couple months ago, right? And the company's stock valuation went up, right? Like all the parts of the largest corporations in the world are all interchangeable at the snap of a finger, right? What makes them valuable is the assets that they hold, the ideas that they hold, right? So us as individuals, if we ever want to make it big, we don't need to get caught up on the person by person weeds day to day, right? We need to like have the ideas and the techniques that make your business valuable. So I hope everyone has a good night, and that's all I have to say.
No,
Thank you.
Thank
Thank
you.
you. Thank you. Thank you for
I think everyone talk already, right? Fatu, we all talk already. Yeah.
Is Steve there? Or
So yeah, maybe a few words. I didn't see
Krista,
him connected.
Krista
Maybe
tested
with
that Steve would not be here
Krista.
tonight. She
oh,
wrote
that's
in a
correct.
comment.
Yes.
yeah,
Yes,
I
I
see.
did earlier. Yeah. Thank you.
Then we still have
Thank you.
Fred Thomas has not intervened, and if you could take advantage and address some of the questions that Shirel put forward, that will also be great.
Yeah, let me first. I would like to thank you, for not only the presentation, like I was saying, also with the tonight experience, right? Do what you can with what you have where you are, right? The answer should not be, hey, because I'm not at my computer, I could not, right? And so it was great, and it's a new experience, and it's like a call for we all. So
Thank
again,
you.
you guys cover most of my stuff already. From the book, that idea of mentorship, right, is coming back also. That's very important. That we can go high, but at some point we need someone else to take us at the other level to see through, right? Because at some point you just reach your peak, but someone talk to you and advise you, and then it open, a flow of new idea will come in. So mentorship. Now, my takeaway from the book is I took the business as the family, and Nasif already started talking about it a little bit. I took the business as the family, and then on who the family depend, right? And many occasions here, like Nasir say, when that pass or someone pass, and then everything just gets stuck, and they'll have all of the problem of the world. Some people who were living very well before, because they rely only on one person, the family. So a family, from this book, if we do the analogy, the family cannot rely only on one person. The wife has to be able to know what husband is doing and be able to step in case of disease or whatever, or maybe death, right? The same way also the husband had to know what the wife was doing also to be able to step in, instead of having like everything around only on one person. That's my biggest takeaway. Or like, where are the people located, the important people for the house, or life insurance people, where is located? Do the wife knows? Do the wife know how the budget is, how they live on the budget, and how all of those things? That's my takeaway from on the book. Like, we need to make sure that everything is not circled around one person, and after you, it's chaos. So chaos. So that's my takeaway from the book. That we just need to be mindful about that. To finish, sorry, 30 seconds. I listened this morning when I dropped beyond coming home. This week on NPR, they're doing like a financial literacy training, helping people, and they found that so many a widow have issue about money. And one lady who talked this morning, she was a nurse, and the husband used to do everything. And when the husband passed, she was just confused. She doesn't know how credit card will work. She doesn't know any of that. She doesn't know how to go to a website to have a password, all of those things, because the husband was the only one doing it until she got completely bankrupt and they were about to take the house. And she went to a church and start counseling, and now they're teaching her how you have to manage. So it's a call for us all to know, okay, uh, without me, the system has to continue. That's my takeaway from the book. Thank you on that. Now, maybe short question.
Because what scale? What scale are they talking about in the book?
So I don't have experience. I don't know about individual owner or business owner issue. But what I know is like I was saying, the same thing. When you grow, you reach a certain level and you cannot go that far anymore, up anymore, then you start spreading around. So if I take the example of Honeywell, what they do, like every month they buy like 2 or 3 businesses. They will go and give you more money than what you think. But the rule around it is you sign a contract and you still be the one to lead the business, and you become a worker, even though they pay you completely, and but you still in the business, and they will change the payroll. All of the worker become Honeywell worker. You're due to, and you continue that way. Sometimes also they even keep the own name, but they own and that's what the way they do expansion. So you can have like home security, you can have plumbing in Honeywell. You have like everything that you can imagine they're there, but they try to diversify, right? To do acquisition and do, and then some of them now, when they have new product that they're manufacturing, they will introduce through that company. So if there's a plumbing department, all of the things they're gonna provide you when you put a bid, it will be Honeywell material. It will be Honeywell something, and they'll figure out and start doing. So that's what I know about. But as a personal level, I don't know that much about business. I haven't owned anything big yet, so I could not answer that much on. But I heard about the valuation thing that you say also, right? And you have to sell at some moment, because if you don't sell and a new technology that is better than you come out, that's it. You cook, and your train is gone. Like like last year or this year, we it was chat GPT until DeepSeek, or how you call it, the thing from China came out, right? And you see the stock market, everything went down quick because they were able to provide kind of answer, and but they didn't spend that much money compared to chat GPT. So just opportunity, but you have to know when it's time to exit before it's too late. That's what I will answer from a comment from what you say.
Cool.
Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you
So
very much,
To,
Fred
yeah,
Thomas.
to
Mm.
add, I can't remember all the questions
yeah.
that he asked, but to just go a little bit on what Sister Colombe just says to remind us about the question. Technically, the price is what is advisable is 5 times of your net profit, but in the price, the economy say that the price is where the demand and the offer meets.
Mhm. Yes.
So even though that is 5 times, but now a lot of people are looking to get into that market. They can even suggest 10 times, 20 times, 40 times just because they want that. You see now? So
Mhm.
the minimum is known, but the ceiling is not known. It depends on the how you market yourself, because some of the thing, how the first owner might sell it very, very pricey, but the new owner might not manage it correctly and then bankrupt it. That was the case of Nokia. When was it Nokia? When Microsoft bought Nokia, or and
Yeah, Nokia and
yeah,
Skype.
yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So he was thinking that, oh, when I get it, I will do more than that, and he bought it very, very expensively. But since he doesn't know how to manage, yeah, the price is now zero. Even I heard that he's closing Skype during this week
Yeah.
or this month. So those things
Wow.
normally happen, but we know the minimum. If you are in that kind of business, you know the minimum where you cannot go beyond that. You cannot. If someone come and say, "Oh, I can give you two x," you say, "No, no, no, no. Minimum is 5x." You see, but the ceiling we don't know. It depends on how your market is behaving and how you marketing your product as well. Thank you.
Thanks.
Yeah,
Yeah.
thank you
Is
too.
that
Yeah.
thank you.
Now, talking
So
about the price,
any
what,
additional
yeah,
comment?
anyway,
Mhm.
just a tiny comment. What uh, I notice is, yes, it is 5 million. It might look like a very big business, and it might look like all what we could imagine. However, if we follow the recommendations of the author and make the business sellable, that can lead us, even if the business is still on paper, to have all these criteria, and we can even do the cash flow projection and see this amount of money or these values. So everything depends on the idea and where we are during what stage of development of it. Now you said certain things like the idea. It could be even at the beginning. It could even be people sell just the patent of ideas. They write the whole thing, the process, how it's going to be built, without even building it, and go and patent it and leave the idea out. Anyone who picks it up, who wants to do it, need to buy the right from the author. So you can even have it right at the idea level and still sell it. So yes, if, I do not want to go too far, but any business that we take, we can, if we are able to unitize it, to productize it, we can see it. When he said dice it a little bit, try and then how did he say, um, starburst it by seeing how you could rethink and redesign this business and do it in the way that it could be replicated that many times mathematically. As soon as you build the model, you see that you can get any value of whatever you have, even if it has not have the birth yet. So regardless the time, as far as it follows the criteria, it could be pricey. That is one thing that I also see. And other questions that you ask, the type of business, yes, any type, as far as we make it product scalable and independent of the order, you can get it sellable, very sellable. Thank you guys. Yeah.
Okay. Thank you.
Thank
Yeah.
you.
So yeah, thank you for the presentation and everything, and thank you all for your
No
contribution.
problem.
So like I was saying earlier, next week book
Mm,
item 85. We get to book 85 next week. And Josh won't be able to present, so I change it. I'll be presenting Ikigai, the Japanese secret to a long and happy life. Okay. And we will see what make a life happy. So next week I'll be presenting, and after me, Sheryl will be the one on book 86. Before you quit your job, Robert
Kiyosaki.
Kiyosaki. Yes,
Kiyosaki. Mm.
Yeah.
Kiyosaki. Okay, thank you.
Kiyosaki.
So it look like
So
Kawasaki.
that book, do we have it?
Which one?
Ironically, the PDF if you have it.
The Ikigai.
Ikigai.
I have the PDF. I will send the link.
Oh, you have the
Let's see
PDF.
if I didn't put it, because sometimes I put it here, but it looked like we don't check. Okay. So I didn't put it here, but I have it. Let's see here. It's this one. So when I copy, probably I copy something. Yeah, I didn't copy because I was moving Josh, because Josh was not available. That's why.
Mm-hmm.
So it will go this way. Copy it, and it will be here.
Is it a?
Okay.
Is
So,
that the book?
Hmm?
Is that a book?
Yeah. So you click on it, and it will take you to the or whatever you on your cell phone. That's a book. Ikigai, the Japanese secret to long life and happiness.
Oh, it's a PDF.
Okay. So yeah, but I'll send the PDF in the group, because usually we don't come here to click on it. So I'll just send it over there on the WhatsApp, and then from the WhatsApp we will go. Okay.
Yeah.
Thank you very much.
Thank you. Here. Okay. I think that's it for today, right? If we don't have any, and before that, stay happy, because we're gonna talk about happiness. Okay.
Hope they will say we can eat a little extra salt.
Only staying active will make you want to live 100 years.
That's a proverb.
That's a proverb, probably will be part of the idea in the book. So maybe they're asking us to be active. Okay, let's say goodbye and wishing a good night to you all.
Your internet
Okay,
is
see
caving
you
in.
next week.
We finished
Okay.
3 minutes early.
It looks like it's frozen. I don't hear
Yeah,
anyone
I
anymore.
can hear you perfectly.
Okay.
Okay.
Okay. Okay. So good night.
Yeah.
Good night, and
Good
bye,
night, all.
everyone.
Good
Thank
night.
you.
Thank you
Thank
so
you for
much.
your input.
Mhm.
Yeah. See you. Yeah.
Good night, everyone.
Yeah.
Good
Good night,
night.
Tattoo. Thank you.
Good night.
Good
Yeah.
night.
Good night.